Alright, so I'm Cadet Eichster, and this is Cadet Dingman. We're doing a presentation on Mercury today, the sun's innermost planet. We're just going to be telling you about Mercury today. We just have some credits really quick here. These are the people and the websites that we took our information from. So, yeah. Mercury is only 3,032 miles in diameter, or less, than 1,000 miles bigger than the Moon, making it the smallest planet in our solar system. It is also the closest planet to the Sun at 35 million miles away, or 39.398.
Mercury is also the second hottest planet in our solar system at 801 degrees. Venus is the second hottest at 864 degrees. And also being so close, it is the fastest planet that rotates around the Sun. This makes it, earns its name, Mercury, from Thomas.
Okay, so Mercury is composed of this 70% metallic material. Most of that is just the core, because a lot of Mercury is made of the core itself. And then 30% silicon material, which is mostly the outside. Here's a comparison of Mercury and Earth. I'll do Mercury and meteor. So Mercury has a surface area of 75 million square kilometers. What does Earth have to do?
Earth is roughly 510 million square kilometers away from the Sun.
Mercury's mass is 3.3 times 10 to the 23rd kilograms, which is around 5.5% the mass of Earth.
Earth's mass is 5.97 to the 10th power kilograms.
And Mercury has, so if you stepped on a scale on Earth and it was 100 kilograms and you weighed 100 kilograms on Earth, you would only weigh 38 kilograms on Mercury. So it has 38% of the weight value, I guess.
Based on radar images taken from our planet, we can see that Mercury actually has a convexing molten layer within it. And this gives it a sort of magnetic field, just like Earth does.
So this is the exploration of Mercury. In 1973, Mariner 10 was launched in order to fly by Mercury and Venus to capture images of Mercury's surface characteristics. So to really see like what the craters are and how many are there and things like that. It used a gravitational pull of Venus, as we saw in the Venus slideshow, to curve its trajectory towards Mercury, all while sending the images of Mercury back to Earth.
And between 1973 and 2004, there were no explorations to actually map or find any more information about Mercury until, of course, 2004. A messenger was sent to find additional information on its magnetic field and enter its orbit to photograph the surface.
As for upcoming missions, in April of 2018, Bepi Colombo will be launched. It's a joint effort between the European Space Agency and the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency to gather further information about Mercury's atmosphere, its composition, and interior structure.
And despite all previous missions, we have yet to actually photograph the entire other half of Mercury. So most images that we see are only from roughly 60% of the planet.
Here are some unknowns of Mercury. Scientists theorize that Mercury was formed in a similar way that Earth is. However, it was actually formed in our solar system. In our solar system has remained somewhat unclear, as Mercury's orbit is more of an oval, suggesting that it was caught in the gravitational pull of the sun. So,
there are some things that we plainly don't know and are still yet to figure out. Why does Mercury retrograde? Now, as we've learned here in class, we've learned that Mercury, or rather other planets farther from our sun, retrograde because we pass them as we are faster than them. But Mercury is not only faster, but further within our solar system. So it's unknown why Mercury retrogrades instead. The hidden side of Mercury, again, as we said, we have no idea what it looks like. We have no idea if there's anything there. Could Mercury be shrinking? Now, all planets, of course, shrink after they've been formed. They start off hot and dense, and so as they cool, they of course shrink, but Mercury's shrinkage is 10 times less than they expected when they measured it. And we don't know why Mercury has gas around it. It's not explained. We have yet to gather anything to explain why Mercury has an atmosphere.
A hypothetical mission to Mercury. To discover more, so here are our objectives. We want to discover more about the core of Mercury. We would launch a probe, mining equipment. At the same time, the second probe will be in orbit to document the unknown side of the planet, and hopefully this will provide a better understanding of the planet through evidence and stronger conclusion of how Mercury came to be.
We would also need specialized equipment. As we've stated, Mercury is the second hottest planet, so we would need suits that would be able to withstand such heat, but also during night times on Mercury, we would need them to spin about to keep the astronauts warm enough to survive.
We would need to develop technologies to mine into the core of Mercury and test the ingredients of its core, so drills.
Hire the proper people, and we would have to train them to endure the long journey to Mercury, as Mercury is very far away from us. And this would, of course, have strain on our astronauts.
You would have to buy the supplies necessary, obviously, to take care of the people completing the mission. So we would have to buy food resources and find out how to get that food to survive Mercury's atmosphere, even though we don't know how it came to be. And we would have to make sure that we have everything that would facilitate the different machineries we do have on our mission. So here are some cool facts about Mercury. One Mercury year is about 88 Earth days long, so that means 1 year, that means one full revolution around the sun, for for Mercury is only 88 of our days, that means revolutions. That's a pretty fast year, if I do say. Mercury is the most cratered planet in the solar system. It's even more cratered than our moon is, even though it's not comparable because it's not a planet. It's very, very, very cratered. Mercury has no moons or rings, so that's the thing. And Mercury's day is longer than its year, so it takes more time to revolve around along its y-axis than it does to revolve around the sun one time. So it's more than 80 days. Here's the video. Alright, let's just get this one for now.
I think our Wi-Fi's down.
Here's a summary. Make sure you take notes. All of these points are the answers to the questions. So make sure you have these notes down. Mercury is only 3,032 miles in diameter.
The average temperature of Mercury is 801 degrees Fahrenheit.
Named after the Roman god of travel and commerce.
The nearest future mission to Mercury is called Bepi Colombo.
About 70% of Mercury is made of metal or metallic material. Make sure you have the notes down. Everybody done?
Alright, like 5 more seconds. Oh, you're done.
Are you
Get
guys
it from a
back
friend.
there? Right, let's go to the next slide.
This is the next one.
Here are the questions. It's that simple. If you want to write them down, go ahead. If you
Write
don't
down.
want to, go ahead. Do you guys have any constructive criticism?
Who needs to do? Yeah, they need the questions.
Oh, they need the questions. Go back, please.
We need to go through.
Yes. So, how big in diameter is Mercury? What's up?
3,032 miles.
What is the average temperature of Mercury?
Around 800 degrees
Wait, who still needs to question?
It's constructive criticism.
No, we're on
This is
questions.
questions.
No, I know. It's who. The next. For the constructive criticism is people who haven't done it.
Oh.
Anyone can answer questions.
Anyways, so, what is Mercury named after?
and
There you go. Alright.
What is the nearest mission to Mercury? And by that, the soonest mission.
Anyone in the back? What's up?
Bepi Colombo?
Good. And what percentage of Mercury is made of metal? This one's pretty easy. Yeah.
70.
70, yep, that's correct. Alright. Next slide.
All right, now,
Constructive
who hasn't done constructive criticism?
criticism.
You have. Go ahead.
I think you did really well, but you did say a lot, and that's really about it. Other than that, you just needed to last a little bit longer. But I get it, you were good.
Thank you. What's up?
I already did, but I just wanted to say, I like how y'all weren't looking at your slides. A lot of you guys were like, correct, just a lot, that's,
Thank you very much. Any others?
Has everyone but Brown?
that seems very in here. That's why you guys real quick with facts. Really good.
Thank you very much.
Alright.
Next slide.
Oh, that's the next.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.